Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to give you guys a quick unboxing of the JJC LH-LHP1. Now this is a lens hood designed for the Sony Rx1, and it's meant to replace the Sony RX1 lens hood because it's really expensive. It retails for $180, and that original lens hood is the Sony LHP1, which you can see right at the bottom of the packaging here. JJC is letting you know this is a replacement for that lens hood. And the reason I'm suggesting this is because it retails for roughly $60 over at Amazon if you want to get it through the US. You can also try your luck at eBay auctions where you will be getting it directly from China where it's manufactured. The original lens hood made by Sony is made in Japan. But I think you will find that this lens hood is pretty much identical. The only thing it's really missing is the Sony branding. And I haven't actually had the pleasure of using it, but I've read many reviews and have yet to find one review that is really negative about the quality, especially at the price. It's still overpriced, granted, at that $60 for the lens hood that it is, but when compared to that $180 that Sony's looking for, it's a relative bargain. So with that said, let me go ahead and unbox it. Again, this is a replacement lens hood for the LHP1 design for the Sony Rx1, which is part of the Cyber-shot family. So really it's a matter of personal preference whether you want to get this from China or, you know, America. I think it's also a matter of actual convenience and how much time you have. If you've got the time to wait, then you can certainly try to save your money and get it through an eBay auction because it can be had for less through auction. But if you need it with any immediate nature, any urgency, then Amazon is definitely the way to go. So try to get this in focus for you guys. It is made of metal, as I just mentioned before, which is a nice thing. So it is very similar to the Sony, and I have seen and used the Sony. And it is arguable that you really don't even need a lens hood for this camera because of how good the coatings are on there. Lens flare, really very minimal. But I think for overall protection, it's a relatively good idea. That's all of the branding you're going to see on this lens hood. At least that's what it appears like. I see nothing on the inside of the ring either. So that's really good, very nice of JJC to basically give you an identical clone or replica here that is going to look as it should on the camera. Often you buy a third-party accessory of this nature and you have to live with something that doesn't look like it really belongs on the camera. And I can already tell from the fit and finish, as well as, again, every review that I've seen, this is the way to go if you're willing to spend a little extra money. Now, you can find lens hoods for a lot less on eBay and Amazon, made of plastic. Some claim to be made of metal, but if I were you, I would stick with this one because you guys can already see it looks like it was made for the camera, and it really is basically designed to Sony specification, and that's why I keep referring to it as a clone. If it wasn't made in China, I could possibly even tell you guys that it was coming out of the same factory as Sony's own hood, but since it is made in China, it's pretty clear that it's not identical, but it's as close as it's going to get. You won't have a problem, or at least shouldn't, getting in there to your actual lens cap. I don't foresee any issues with that, and overall it just, like I keep saying, if you're considering purchasing the Sony lens hood for the 180, consider this instead. I will give you guys further impressions as I use it, but I think I know what to expect out of this lens hood, and that's really just a much more rational purchase than the $180 Sony LHP1. If you guys have any questions or comments about this lens hood, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.